Hello, my name's Yuan, founder and CEO of DailySurprisesMedia, a lead generation agency for coaches and service providers that has generated over 100 client wins just last year alone. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how do you get your first 1,000 followers on Instagram. Bearing in mind, those are not just random followers, those are very targeted followers you can actually turn into clients. If that's something you're interested in learning how to do, then keep watching. In order to get followers that are actually targeted, you firstly really need to understand who is your ideal client avatar. At the same time, you need to understand where do they actually hang out on Instagram. What I mean by that is, do they consume specific people's content in your niche? Are they hang out in certain communities? Is there any hashtag they actually follow? So I'm going to put a little video on the screen right now to show you how to actually find information like what hashtag somebody is actually following. So you need to know all of those details for us to go into step number 2 to target them. This is super important because you don't want to attract just random followers on the internet, right? You really want to turn those followers into clients later. So it's very important for you to be really clear on what kind of people you want to attract and understand where they hang out. And if you are not clear right now where do they hang out, I recommend you to do some market research and ask questions so you can figure out the normal communities they hang out, the people they follow, the hashtag they follow, etc. Or just go back to your previous clients and really do some digging around and to see the people they are following, the community they are following, and the hashtag they tend to use and follow. Now that you know who is your ideal client avatar, you also know where do they actually hang out. You are ready for step number 2, which is engage intentionally. What I mean by that is you want to go to their profile, drop some likes, give them some comments on their post, and potentially interact with their story as well that allow you to actually slide into their DM directly, which is like a private space, like a direct messaging for you to start building relationships. What you really want to do here is to show your support, because engagement is just like a tap on the shoulder, right? You are just being friendly, you are saying hi, just like when you go into a networking event, you introduce yourself. On social media, it's the same thing, right? You still want to be social, and the way you're going to get other people's attention is by really go out there and say hi first and introduce what you do. So when your ideal client starts seeing you popping up in their notification center, start seeing you in their personal messaging, they start getting very interested in knowing who you are and finding out more about you. Exactly like networking event, right? So you want to be the one being social and say hi first. The only thing is we want to making sure that we don't kind of get into the rabbit hole of start engaging with people and then forget what you're doing and then go on to a content consumption rabbit hole. What we really want to do is to engage intentionally and be really strategic about it. So one thing I always tell my clients, what we really want to do is to stick with one strategy per day or per week, and you actually tracking your progress with it to know that which engagement source works the best for you. Let's say that you're very clear on your ideal client, always go to community number A, B, and C. You also know that they're hanging out in community number 1, community number 2. They always kind of follow specific hashtags. Then what you want to do is, let's say in week 1, you always engage with the audience within that competitor A. And then on week 2, you always engage with the communities that they're hanging out in. And in week 3, you only target on hashtags. And then by tracking your growth week on week, it really helps you to understand what engagement source works the best for you. If, let's say, you grow 10 followers in your first week just by engaging with competitors, but you grow 20 new followers in the second week by engaging with a specific community, you know that the community that you engage with give you a better ROI. So over time, you can find more and more communities where your ideal client hang out, and you know that reliably, that's a great source for you to keep engaging with. And from our experience so far, for majority of our clients, we actually find hashtag to be one of the worst way of engaging, but tracking actually shows us it doesn't mean hashtag is the worst way for everybody. It actually works specifically for a few of our clients that works really, really well for them. So different profiles are very different. So you really want to track different engagement methods, different engagement source for yourself in order to figure out which engagement source works the best for you to give you the best ROI. So with the limited time you spend on Instagram every single day, you know that you're getting the most out of it. Now, at this point, if you know very clearly who is your ideal clients, where they hang out, and you have been consistently engaged with them through a very efficient engagement source, you should get in consistent impressions on your profile. Impression is what you can see from your profile insight that really help you to understand how many eyeballs has been to your profile so far. If you're actually getting tons of impressions, as in people actually do come over and check out your profile, but you're not getting a lot of followers, that tell me one thing: we need to troubleshoot right now. In general, if you are having lots of impressions but not a lot of followers yet, it normally tells me two things. It can be either your profile is not optimized or your content is not optimized, or just both. So three things actually. Bear in mind, everyone on Instagram these days, their attention span is very short. So when they come to your profile, if your profile doesn't clearly articulate what you do exactly and what your ideal client can benefit from it, it's very hard for them to then stay and decide to give you a follow. So if you really want followers, targeted followers, not just spending all the effort bringing those eyeballs, but then not converting them, it's very important for you to optimize your profile, to making sure that your profile is very clear, calling out who do you help, what do you help them with, and the specific result you can provide for them. Now that you have a optimized profile with loads of impressions, if your impression to follower conversion is still not ideal, that tells me that your content is not quite on point yet. So what happens is once people actually come to your profile, they stalk your general bio, they stalk your links, they stalk your story highlight. What they tend to do next is actually to binge your content a little bit. So they will check your top posts and see what you have there to talk about. If your top post is all about who you are, what you do, which is great in terms of relationship building, but bear in mind your content is showing to a stranger for the first time who know nothing about you, right? So if they decide to connect with somebody on Instagram, it's mainly because they think they can get value from it, right? So they're not necessarily going to decide to follow you if they see tons of personal content. So you want to making sure that your content optimized in a way that you have tons of valuable content on your feed that they are going to find it helpful, and they decided that's going to be a good reason enough for them to give you a follow and continue and support you on your journey. So if they found your content valuable, that would be a good reason enough for them to give you a follow so that they can consume more of your content when you put it out there, which is again great for your engagement as well. Now, before we actually move on to the next tip, which also get you targeted followers, it's very important to remember followers doesn't equal to clients. Just like to get eyeballs, which is impressions, onto your profile, to convert them into followers, you need a conversion system in place. You need another conversion system in place to actually turn followers into clients, so people that actually buy from you. If you're interested in getting more than just targeted followers, if getting clients right now is your top priority, then making sure that you pause this video right now and actually go to the description box below and sign up for my 4-step framework. It's the 4-step framework all my clients use and I use on a daily basis to making sure that we're not only getting targeted eyeballs, but we're also turning them into targeted followers, and we actually then converted them into clients as well. So if getting clients is your priority right now, making sure that you pause this video, sign up to the 4-step framework, and you will be given a 90 minutes masterclass where I walk you through our framework. We basically gave you our client generation framework in depth so that you can start getting clients for yourself on Instagram all organically. Now that's out of the way, let's talk about the next tip. Another great way to making sure that you are getting targeted followers is to leverage hashtags. I'm going to put some screenshots on the screen right now. You can see that one client get tons of followers just through hashtag alone. And the other client not only get targeted followers, but actually a client found her through hashtag. So it's really important to get your hashtag strategy right. Hashtag is almost like keywords for Google, but it's kind of like keywords for Instagram. That's actually how I find my local beauty salons that I go often right now. So how do you actually get your hashtag right? But don't worry, I've got you. I actually have a hashtag training, which I'll link towards end of this video so you can continue watching. In that video, I go into more depths in terms of what you actually need to consider when it comes to hashtags to give you the maximum visibility organically on Instagram. Now, at this point of the video, you've learned number 1, exactly what you need to do to find your ideal client on Instagram, engage with them efficiently, and know what kind of things you need to track to know that your time spent on Instagram is giving you the best ROI. You also know how to troubleshoot, which is if you're getting tons of impressions, but they're not turning to followers, what do you actually need to check for and what things you actually need to optimize. You're given a resource to making sure that you're not just getting targeted followers, you are actually turning them into clients as well. And a bonus tip, which is how do you actually leverage hashtags to making sure you can get even more targeted followers on Instagram. And as promised, I'm going to link that video at this point so you can continue watching the hashtag strategy to making sure that you're fully optimized organically and set up for success on Instagram. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.